Chairman John, the gentleman on the freeholder board, Bruce Barry, Carl Wood, and of course, first, I'm sure you're expecting, I'm going to apologize for the outburst at the end of the meeting of 2 weeks ago. Was it warranted? That could be questioned. However, you've now had 2 weeks to think about actually the issue that was presented in front of you and reflect upon it. And I'm going to ask the questions again. And hopefully the public, get answers tonight, because we didn't get them 2 weeks ago. So through you, Chairman Jala, I asked the 2 questions. This is about Freeholder Mirabella having a second job as business administrator in Scotch Plains. And I was asking Councilor Barry, through you now, I have to ask you through you, I understand. Is that a conflict of interest? What is the basis of the opinion that's going to be rendered by Councilor Barry? And does Freeholder Mirabella, is he not going to be able to vote on the budget? Because at that point, he's neutered, and he shouldn't be a freeholder, and he should be stepping down. So the public, again, 2 weeks ago, never got an answer. Here you are again. We're asking that question. By the way, whatever the outcome, I will not give an outburst at the end of the meeting. Okay, that much I understand. Every once in a while, the public does get frustrated. At least one person in the public gets frustrated. So, I'll tell you ahead of time. Whatever it is, I'll contain myself. Maybe I'll clap if I do it. But moving along, the budget. We got plenty of time, plenty of meetings to talk about the budget. But initially it's released, and we appreciate you releasing and County Manager Fiello's overview of the budget. It was a little raw in numbers and comparison, so it was really tough, to see if it was really worth it or not. But just 2 items. Okay, 2 items. I'd like to hear an answer on possibly. County Manager Fiello said our ratables increased by $200 million. And that sounds like a lot of money. However, I'd really like to hear the base of the ratables that is in this county, so we can compare what $200 million really is. Is it 10%? Is it 1%? Is it 0.5%? So, this I'd like to hear. The second question is, and just easily looking at the bottom line numbers, we're talking about a county budget from a year ago to now went from about $505 million down to $490 million. So that's a $15 million in savings, and that savings is actually tax savings, since you do fund the budget with tax monies. So we're looking at a $15 million drop in expenditures in the budget. At the same time, we're looking at a rough number of $6 million in a tax increase presented to the board. So we're looking at a $15 million savings in expenditures and a $6 million increase in taxes. So to me, that's telling me that's really about a $21 million tax increase, since we're saving taxes and we're spending taxes. So it went up $16 million. We'll be talking about this later. I mean, you don't have to explain, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but I'll tell you, that's the way I look at it. So, and I guess just a couple more little items. I did notice in the Westfield Leader last week, there was a photo of Freeholder Mirabella sitting around reading to children, first graders, second graders at his school. And the interesting part is it's during the daytime. And from what I understand and what I brought up before is now he's the business administrator in Scotch Plains, and yet he's out there representing himself as a freeholder, because that's what it said in the photo. So here we have some kind of contradiction, because he's the business administrator of Scotch Plains during the day. How could he be a freeholder? So there's a conflict of interest.
Thank you very much for your comments.
Okay, and I appreciate it, and I'd really like through you to hear what the answers to the questions are. Thank you.
Stick around. Anyone else wishing to speak?